It's time for another package from Bitmap Books and the latest in their amazing Compendium series. So we'll open it up. And you see, unboxing this for the first time. We've got, hope you enjoy your book leaflet. Leave a review and get a discount. And as you can see, gorgeous printed packaging. Oh, that's a shame. Can't have the picture there. And it says there, please consider leaving a review. And once again, we have the book corners to protect the book. And the lovely Bitmap Books thereafter. And down to the stickers, look, the logo. And as you can see, this is N64, a Visual Compendium, unofficial of course, and as ever, A to Z, A, B for banana, C for Charizard, D for Doom, E for an egg, and so on. So that's a nice little touch you find on all those. And it's in a lovely slick case as well. The end of the 16-bit gaming era left Nintendo in a position of strength that would be the envy of any game maker. The SNES, or Super Famicom if you lived in Japan, was an inarguable hit, selling countless consoles and games all over the world. With the dawn of 3D, however, Nintendo would be challenged by new competitors, new technologies, and a changing landscape that would define the company's course for decades to follow. First released in 1996, the Nintendo 64 became home to a slew of revolutionary classics that are still influential today. At the same time, questionable decisions behind the scenes and unfortunate hardware constraints would leave Nintendo struggling in ways it never experienced before. N64, a Visual Compendium, is a chronicle of this turbulent era in Nintendo's history. With developer interviews and in-depth features, this book provides a unique look at Nintendo's place in the cutthroat gaming market of the late 90s. In these pages, you will also find pictorial profiles digging into 150 of the N64's most important and most interesting game releases. It doesn't matter if you grew up on Super Mario 64, GoldenEye 007, or The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This book will help you look back at the best that the Nintendo 64 had to offer. So it's ever shrink wrapped and fresh. I'll slide it out of the case. So you can see this is number 8 in the series. And we'll look inside, so end papers there. More about that. So N64 was not a perfect game system. Amazing list of contributors there. Quite a few names I know. The contents, so we've got Foreword, the story of the N64, a long list of games, C64 DD games, separate interviews, and then features. So we've got Ken Bayless, Julian Egebrecht, Michael Mendheim, Remington Scott, and Jim Warnell. Got features on the development of Legacy, story of the expansion pack, Too Little Too Late, the DD, and cancelled cartridges. So let's have a quick look through. Forward by David Duack of the GoldenEye team, the story of the N64. Nice piece of artwork there. Talking about how the Ultra 64 became the Nintendo 64. Super Mario 64, of course. Pilot Wings launch game. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Wonder Project, Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. Wave Race. International Superstar Soccer, forerunners of the Pro Evo games, Killer Instinct Gold from Rare, Cruising USA, from Royal Thrills, Shadows of the Empire, from Factor 5, made good use of the hardware. Mario Kart 64, GoldenEye 007, Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, an interview with Remington Scott, who worked on Turok, Micro League Wrestling from the C64 bit, motion capture script, that's interesting. Blast Core, one of my favourite N64 games, FIFA Soccer, Diddy Kong Racing, and Kevin Bayliss, synonymous with Rare. Doom 64, good conversion. Mischief Makers, Star Fox 64, which of course came with the Rumble Pack. Tetrasphere, Bomberman 64. Mace the Dark Age, Top Gear Rally, just 2 pages, Extreme G, Duke Nukem 64, Puyo Puyo's Son, Chopper Attack, WCW vs NWO World Tour, Aero Fighters Assault, Snowboard Kids, Flying Dragoon, Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, and obviously the letter G in our N64 alphabet, Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, Yoshi's Story, do want to add that to my collection. Robotron 64, interesting take on that. Rogue Squadron, of course, that's Vector 5. June and Egebrecht. And go on to produce the stunning sequel for GameCube. 1080 Snowboarding. Quake 64. Fighter's Destiny. The development legacy of the controller. Image from the patent. Obviously, unusual idea. Rampage World Tour, Bomberman Hero, Forsaken, Major League Baseball, Wetrix, from Z2, the Pickford Brothers, Quest 64, Mortal Kombat 4. Actually, I'm just going to go back a sec. There's a brilliant Twitter account that boosts Quest 64, very funny account, I do like that one. Mortal Kombat 4, Cruisin' World, the follow-up. Banjo-Kazooie from Rare. Dazemon 3D. F-Zero X, very fast moving. Mission Impossible. Goemon's Great Adventure. Gex Enter the Gecko. NFL Blitz. Buck Bumble, another one that gets mentioned a lot. Body Harvest from DMA Design, who went on obviously to be famous for Grand Theft Auto. NHL 99, Space Station Silicon Valley, again, that's DMA, publisher Take-Two, very interesting game that. Madden NFL 99, WCW NWO Revenge, Glover, developed by Interactive Studios, what was later known as Blitz Games here in the UK, the Oliver twins, and now coming to Evercade, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, justifiably one of the greatest games of all time, Wipeout 64, Jim Warnell from Nintendo of America, Top Gear Overdrive, Nightmare Creatures, NBA Jam 99, Nushitsuri 64, Turok 2, AU Pikachu with a voice control, Mario Party, South Park, one of multiple South Park games at the time, that's the 3D shooter, F1 World Grand Prix, Battle Tanks, Super Smash Bros, Castlevania, Vigilante 8, Pokemon Snap, which obviously just recently had a revival on the Switch, Beetle Adventure Racing, All-Star Baseball 2000, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, got some interesting hint stuff. Now, Superman, the new Superman Adventures, often called one of the worst games ever. Pokemon Stadium, interesting idea, we're transferring the creatures from your Game Boy to N64 with a link cable and seeing them fight in 3D. Fighting Force 64, Micro Machines 64 Turbo, Shadowgate 64, the Fantastic Range, 6 different colours, Mario Golf, World Driver Championship, Neon Genesis Evangelon, Command and Conquer, Quake 2, Ogre Battle 64, Densha to Go, which obviously came with a train controller, the new Tetris, Hybrid Heaven, The jumper pack, you can get the expansion pack for extra RAM. Donkey Kong 64 and Perfect Dark obviously work with it. StarCraft, Legend of Majora's Mask, Jet Force Gemini, Fighter Destiny 2, Rayman 2, Duke Nukem 0 Hour, Gauntlet Legends, Shadow Man, Bakuretsu Mutakei Bangayo, Road Rash 64, Winback Covert Operations, Army Men Sarge's Heroes, Jet Force Gemini, another rare title there, as in Rare the Company, Battle Tanks Global Assault, interview with Michael Mentai from the 3DO Company, Battle Tanks and Army Men, Super Robot War 64, Mario Artist Series for the DD, the ill-fated add-on, Resident Evil 2, masterpiece of getting that crunched into a cartridge, Mario Party 2, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Doshin the Giant, which obviously later got a GameCube release, Rocket Robot on the Wheels, another unusual one, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Now Donkey Kong 64's main spread here, all those different things you have to collect, and quite funny, I recently did an interview with Grant Kirkhope for Fusion Magazine, who's talking about how, you know, you've got synonymous with a marimba sample because it sounded good wherever you played it on the keyboard. And as he said, they had the hardware, so they played the sounds as if they appeared on the N64 rather than tweaking samples down. Turok Rage Wars, Custom Robo, that's a look at a DD disc. Too Little Too Late, the story of C64 DD. Paint Studio, Doshin the Giant, Pro Golf Tour, SimCity 64 as well on that format. Castlevania, Legacy of Darkness, Ridge Racer 64, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, got a decent conversion. Sim64, as you say, was on the DD. The expansion kit for F-Zero, which includes a track creator, Pro Golf Tour, the Rumble Pack, which required 2 AAA batteries, Pokemon Stadium 2, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, Majora's Mask, Excite Bike 64, Zone Rise of the Black Dogs, Perfect Dark, the controller pack was the memory card, of course, PGA European Tour Golf, Army Men IO Combat, StarCraft 64, interesting choice to convert, Mario Tennis, the first appearance of Waluigi, and Paper Mario. This is, if I was going to spend a lot of money on an N64 game, this is one I would love to own. Played it in emulation and love it, love the style. Very clever game, very clever series. NFL Quarterback Club 2001, San Francisco Rush, Turok Free, The World Is Not Enough, Mickey's Speedway USA, Indiana Jones The Infernal Machine, again very clever conversion of that, Banjo-Tooie, and similar to Batsu, Hoshino Kishosha. That's what I don't know much about. It's known as Sin and Punishment outside of Japan. There we go. Again, another one I might spend a lot of money on. Missed it on the Wii. WWF No Mercy, one of the few wrestling games I own. Very good. Spider-Man, Episode 1 Battle for Naboo, Mega Man 64, Mario Party 3, Conker's Bad Fur Day. I bought that, got a lovely little Conker plushie as well from my jealous friend Ashley Day. Amazing game. Hidden Chronicles, the first made. No one I've not heard of. Role-playing game. Interesting. Nobutsu no Mori, of course, we now know in the West as Animal Crossing, and it runs in real time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Dr. Mario 64, and then some of the cancelled cartridges, Robotech Crystal Dreams, Dinosaur Planet, which of course then became Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, Earthbound 64, Die Hard 64, Glover 2, Tornado, Eternal Darkness, another one that became GameCube, and Resident Evil 0, also GameCube. Now, thanks, resources, say unofficial, but another fantastic production from Bitmap Books, filled with gorgeous imagery, and in its slipcase. So I hope you enjoyed this video looking at N64, a visual compendium. That's bad luck. Didn't quite go in there. So there we go, back in its slipcase. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned to the channel for more unboxing, retro shelf, merch stand and gameplay videos. Keep it retro.